the Tries, Cat.
What up, though?
How's everybody doing? What is up?
What is good?
What is up? What is up? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another episode of IOW Sports, episode 225. And it's your boy, Wildcard Mar, in the building, Detroit Mel. And as you see, he tried to dip out real quick. We got a special guest. Well,
In the building.
He came back to work. I guess he had enough colonoscopies he can take and enemas and, you know. But anyway.
His ass is raw now.
No, welcome to another episode. Like I said, as always, you see
His
on
new
the bottom
nickname
of
is Raw Ass Nick.
To do what?
His new nickname is Raw Ass Nick.
Ran.
Right, Ran.
That boy
MC
ran. Oh, wow. We're starting already. Yep. It is Thursday. As you can see on the bottom of the screen, please make sure to hit us up on all the social media platforms that you can find IOW Sports. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, YouTube, where all the content is stored at. IOW Sports Network is the handle for all three of those social media platforms. And then, of course, you can find us on Twitter, IOW Sports 1. You can find me personally, the Wildcard Mar, at KC Wildcard Mar on the Twitter, Wildcard Mar on the Facebook and the Instagram. Detroit man, come on, man. Please get your own Instagram, Twitter, and all that, dog. Because I just saw a DM on the IOW Sports page, and this yeah, man. She was looking for you.
Oh shit! Let me get
She
on.
was definitely looking for you.
Let me get on that mug.
Yeah, she kind of had like a long giraffe neck.
Stop right there, bro. You stop right there.
Oh, that's all you need to know?
Long draft, and that means she's good to swallow.
And she had a dick.
And you just fucked it up. I'm good now.
She had a dick. His favorite part of her was the same part as his.
Guys. What's up, big homie? Big homie's in the building, man. Look who came back to work, man.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Good,
hi,
good.
Man. How's your peoples, man?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
How's everyone doing? I wish that we have a good show. I could hang for a little bit. I got some shit I got to rectify, but while I'm here, I'm going to do nothing.
Hey, sir, enough rectifying.
Heat on Mel. I'm telling Mikey Bones, I will have zero jokes towards him today because as you could see in my description under my name, it's Big Nick, hater of Mel. So we're gonna I got too much to hate this few on
Mike.
MJ, what's up? What's up with MJ? Bones is D Mel chewing on nuts
all day, every day. He got it down to a science. We don't even hear the nut cracking anymore.
I see we're starting off already. Hey, sir, you and this load management that you're doing, Bones, is starting to become a little bit of a little wrench into.
You getting snowflakey?
All you gotta do is cut your hairline back right here. We're gonna call you LeBron.
Yo, stop, bro. Stop, chill. Anyway, yeah.
A lot of stuff. Profile picture though, I lied. His head's so big he couldn't even get his whole head in his profile picture.
Yo, stop.
I love you, Mike. I'm kidding. That's the only one. Now I'm done.
Oh wow. Yo, I can't. This shit is already getting out of control. But anyway, we got a lot of things to talk about. But I want to start right here. Obviously, we talked about Eric Bieniemy in the situation, not getting a coaching job. But I don't want to focus more on him. But there seems to be a little beef between him and LaShawn Shady McCoy. Take a look at this clip on Speak on FS1. Shady McCoy is, of course, part of that show, and they had just quick little little conversation on Eric Bieniemy getting hired as the offensive coordinator from Washington, moving on from Kansas City. But let's kind of take a look at what Shady had to say on Speak.
With the Commanders. I hope, but I will. The problem is a lot of, oh, he should be the guy.
Oh shit, I can't hear
that. When the plays are designed, that's Andy Reid. When you talk about I can with the Giants, a very, very good coordinator. I can tell you Andy Reid or Doug Peterson. When I ask about Eric Bieniemy, what makes it? When we watch the film or practices and we correct the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, he doesn't talk there. Andy Reid talks in there. He may say things to the running back because he's an ex-running back coach. I get that. But he has no real responsibility. Now you go from the Chiefs, where you can hide behind Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, to Washington, where you got to plays, you got to run the meetings, you got to run the installs. And last issue I have with him is what makes Andy Reid so great, not the call, the plays. I mean, it's one of it. But other things like adapting to the players. With Bieniemy, he's my first practice. I couldn't believe it. Dog coaching, dog cussing the players. I'm like, and not just the regular players, Kelsey, other players. So it's like, it's hard for me. I'm rooting for him because he's a black coach, and I love to see black coaches win. Also, he's a running back coach. Running back coaches will never get a chance to be offensive coordinator. Last one was like Anthony Lynn. So I want that to do well for him. But if I have to do my job and be honest, my thing is, where is the value at?
Is it anything to do with him being black, in your opinion? Obviously, you ain't Roger Goodell. You don't know.
You know what? Absolutely not. But people want to. More coaches, I definitely believe that. But if you come up with the Chiefs, they won't win. It has nothing to do with the color at all.
Interesting, fellas. I do apologize. I know it's a little glitchy for y'all. You guys over there.
Fuck you, Ant. Fuck you, Ant. Fuck you, Ant. All right. Go ahead. You were saying?
No, I know it's a little bit glitchy for y'all. StreamYard has been on some real BS lately, and I don't know what the hell's been going on. We're gonna get that. We're gonna have a real conversation with StreamYard real soon because he's killing our content. All right, but it was fine on our end, and Nick, yeah, we can't hear you because you're muted, sir. You muted yourself. We can't hear you.
All right, I'll deliver the joke just as good the second time. I said, we know what happened. Mel chewed through this cable wire just like he's chewing through them nuts right now. Like a corn on a cob.
Yeah. I'm not. I can't. Yeah, what's wrong with y'all,
no, let me see that, Mel. Where you drinking from?
Huh?
Let me see what you're drinking from.
Oh no, that's an old school quart container. That's
a large semen container from the sperm bank he stole.
Yeah.
Told you, man. 2 months. There's a lot. That's what she said.
First of all, I'm sorry that you are unrefined and don't recognize freeze-dried fruit when you see it.
No, pretty
man,
much.
That's very quiet, man.
Hey, Anthony, what's up?
Well, pretty much, like I said, I know it's a little bit glitchy, but pretty much what Shady was saying, my paraphrasing was, he doesn't see anything special about Eric Bieniemy, and then he hopes he has success, but he doesn't see it happening in Washington D.C. So, Nick, man, we haven't heard from you in a while. What do you expect to see from Eric Bieniemy as OC out in Washington? Just your own personal thoughts, and then do you agree with kind of the paraphrase of Shady McCoy having his doubts about him being successful as an OC out in Washington?
I partially agree and disagree. And the part I agree with is, yeah, he needed to get out on his own, right? I don't think there's going to be instant success in Washington because you're going to have a first-time starting quarterback in Sam Howell, who you had no part of choosing. So I think it's a little almost asinine to pick that team to go to. But on the flip side of it, if you make something of this team and this quarterback, all the questions are erased. Like, you're getting thrown into the deep end. It's sink or swim time. If you make Sam Howell Patrick Mahomes Jr., hey, man, ain't nobody going to say a goddamn word. And then we can throw all the smoke at those 14 teams. because I've been, my opinion and the opinion of me and me only, I just think he's a bad interview and can't sell himself. 14 teams have passed.
Mhm.
Now, not all 14 of those teams, I don't know the numbers, but I'm almost certain not all 14 of those teams hired a white coach, right? So the racial aspect of it, I'm sure some other minorities got hired, right, in those 14 jobs. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But I just think he can't sell himself. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing racial about that. Some guys
What
who
up,
you
Kobe?
never see coming walk into a room, floor everybody, wow them, and they say, that's our guy. He's got the vision we want. He can control a room. Some guys are humble. Some guys are quiet. Sometimes, like Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is not meant for the head seat. Todd Bowles is an outstanding coordinator, but he's not a great head of the table. Little Roman Reigns reference. Some people tap out at position coach. Some tap out or top out at coordinator. There ain't. I mean, it's just the way of the world. Not everyone's meant to be a CEO.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know people love them, people respect them, but there's a difference from appreciating a person as a human and walking into an interview with people you've never met and making them believe in you. And that's what the interview is, right? The interview is, hey, you don't know me. This is what I'm about. This is my structure. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to lead this team. This is how I'm going to do it. Some people can't verbalize that. I could probably walk in and do a better interview than Eric Bieniemy because I could sell shit. I could talk to people. I can communicate. I can get you to see a vision like I'm doing right now. Some people don't have that ability, and it's no knock on them as a coach, but some ownerships and GMs want to have that communication validation before giving you the head of the table. Make sense?
I hear you.
14 teams is a lot. Like there's got to be, and there's minority coaches all throughout the league. And like I said, I'm sure 14 of those teams have had minority coaches or have hired minority coaches since Bieniemy's interview. So, like I said, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something maybe I can look up.
Yeah.
Like over the weekend.
No. It's just weird. It's because it's obviously we've had the conversation about.
Nick, tell your date to be quiet.
No, that's the damn dog. He's.
I guess the roofies wore off, Mel. She woke up in the closet.
I believe Nick can literally sell shit. Yeah.
He's had sex before.
And the guy one video and he makes it public.
No, look, obviously I'm not going to rehash anything we've ever said about Eric Bieniemy or anything, but when it comes to what Shady has said, look, whatever he feels for Shady or Shady feels for Eric, I feel like this is more personal. I feel like his assessment is more personal only because it's obviously me being a Chiefs fan, I paid more closely attention to certain things like this. And Shady spent one season in Kansas City. One season. And he got his first Super Bowl ring sitting on the bench. And then what happened the next year? He goes to Tampa, sits on the bench to get another ring. So as much as he wants to say about Eric Bieniemy, it's crazy that 2 years in a row you gotten carried to a Super Bowl victory. You weren't active for neither one of those Super Bowls, So it's like, and just to back up, kind of what I'm saying is, I seen tweets from Jamal Charles, a former Kansas City Chief. He's like, yo, bro, nah, this ain't it. I seen Tyrann Mathieu, who was on the defensive side, come to Eric Bieniemy's defense. Nah, bro, this ain't it. I've seen players through in and out of the organization. Matter of fact, I've gotten a tweet from the great Darren Smith, who covers the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. He's been on the IOW Sports Show before, and so this is a source of somebody that I know that I highly respect and can trust his judgment on this situation. And I want to pull up the tweet real quick, and he said this: "I know he was your teammate, but bro, you failed to do your job and not put things into context. I covered the team. You and I met before going out on the field. and was in the locker room during that 2019 season. He, as in Shady McCoy, failed as a player there. He was benched by Bieniemy after fumbling the football multiple times, and it hurt his ego because Eric Bieniemy held him accountable, just like he did Mahomes, just like he did Kelsey, and others, etc. And he's still butthurt that he didn't play in the playoffs and got a ring by being a bench warmer. So he has an axe to grind. If you doubt what I'm saying, you can go to my page and watch the comments from Patrick Mahomes in the locker room with Eric Bieniemy at his side immediately following the Super Bowl win, which me and Detroit Mail played a couple of shows back. Right after the Super Bowl, Eric Bieniemy was interviewed with Aaron Smith, and Patrick Mahomes was there, and Patrick Mahomes pretty much said straight up, "Hey, this guy has always held us accountable, been a great voice in our locker room, has been very integral to our success." And so when you hear people like Patrick Mahomes, Jamal Charles, and you got reporters backing up what they are saying, and they're pretty much refuting everything that a guy that was there for 1 year and got carried to a Super Bowl ring. I'm not trying to choose sides. All I'm saying is I'm trying to put the facts out there and come up with a conclusion. And I'm starting to really think that maybe Shady might be mad. Shady might be a little bit jealous. What you think about it, Detroit?
I don't know. I kind of agree a little bit with Nick said too, and I'm thinking of it like this. Shut the fuck up, Nick. I'm thinking like this. You know, most of the people that's backing him up are people that, and it's kind of like what Bone said in his comment, are people that are cool with him, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Or kind of somewhere that's connected to the team.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to Shady do meetings of commentating about different players, and I usually like the way he assessed things because it seems more honest, more upfront. You know, when he talked about Dak Prescott, I think what he said was spot on. I might not agree to every point he raised, but it seemed more authentic than some of these people reading from a script.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I take that in consideration too when I listen to his comments. And on top of that, we talk about numerous of times how we can't put a finger on why he's not getting hired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this kind of speaks to that. So I'm kind of like torn down the middle of what side to kind of lean towards because, yeah, what you said about he might be butthurt because of things that happened in Kansas City, it does kind of make sense. But at the same time, why this man not getting jobs? You know, so something, it had to be something there. And like Nick said about the interview thing, and I think Ant had talked about, he had said something about it too. But here's my thing: an interview is your time to give a first impression of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I never met you personally, and you come in and we sitting down at a table and doing an interview process, I'm trying to see where you at. And if you don't impress me in that, what makes me gonna hire you over the next 10 or how many candidates that comes in? You know, so that does play a part of that to me. So maybe that is it. Maybe like Nick said, you know, everybody's not a leader. He's a good coordinator. He's a good second man. He's a good man next to the man, but he's not the man.
Yeah.
Everybody
He's great at delivering the and I don't want to say the man because the racial component with Andy being one, but he's good at delivering the message to the room.
Right.
He's not creating the message.
Right.
So now that he's in a position where he's the top
That's a good point,
on his side of the ball, because Rivera, we all know, is defense. But he had coaches.
AP brings up a good point.
But here's the thing,
so
though.
Now it's all Bieniemy. It's Bieniemy's scheme.
Right.
It's Bieniemy's packages. It's, I said plural just to make sure that Mel didn't get me with the joke there. it's all going to be on Bieniemy. Like I said earlier, it's sink or swim time. Like, can you do this on your own, or are you just a carbon copy of Reed and what he implemented, and you learned it, and now you're just passing the buck down to the players? So I think there's not going to be a definitive answer this season. You know, it's you get a pass this season. You know, you got some nice weapons there. You got Logan Thomas, you got McLaurin, that receiver.
Oh, Scary Terry's nice too.
Yeah, you got some nice
Johan Dotson, the rookie from Penn
Yes,
State.
yes, that was the guy I couldn't think of.
Good
Brian
front court.
Robinson in the
You got
backfield,
Robinson.
Antonio Gibson in the backfield.
Yeah, you got some nice. You took a big
Curtis
hit
Samuel.
last year.
Hopefully, you can get something out of him after you didn't sign him for this. Will be his third year in Washington. So hopefully, you can finally get something out of him after you didn't gave him money from Carolina. So no. Look, it's crazy that you said that, Nick, because I've said that too. I'm like, I look at some of the pieces they got on the offensive side. Obviously, they got to fix some offensive line things, but I'm like, they got a couple of pieces. It ain't Kansas City, but they got some pieces.
Right. But speaking to what Ant said too, a resume can be padded. An interview allows me to see if you can match up what's on that paper.
Yeah, but if I'm hiring you for like a per hour job, okay. But if I'm going to give you a 4 or 5, maybe a 6-year deal for some coaches, with the majority of it, if not all of it, guaranteed, I need to have my jaw dropped when you walk out of the room and look at everybody and be like, "That's our guy."
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think every owner, every GM, every front office, the VP of football operations, all that, they want one thing: a ring. If you wow them, they don't care what color you are. They want to win. Now, I'm sure there might be some old white owners who maybe are a little differently. I can't speak for everybody being on the up and up, but I believe the majority of front offices, they want the ring, and they don't care what color human being or sex will get them there. If you walk into the room and you wow everybody and you floor them and you bang, bang, bang bullet points and you answer every question and you sell yourself and you're going to be the face of the organization and you're going to have media day. You're going to be the one with the mic after the game. You're going to have the full media press multiple days a week. We need you to be able to stand up there, take the heat, answer the hard questions, and put everybody at ease. I'll say this, Robert Salah, even when shit is bad, Salah makes you believe he can speak. Rex was a little wild, but Rex was a great communicator.
Yeah.
Those are guys that can speak, that can sell you their ideology and get you to buy into something.
Right.
Listen, it's not a football thing. It's a human personality trait. And maybe Bieniemy just don't have that. I'd like to move.
You know what, Nick? I'm glad you back because I never looked at it that way. That it might just be maybe EB's personality just doesn't click with certain general managers and owners. That might be it. I don't know. But me personally, and I'm going back.
I didn't get a chance to see it, Mel. Too. I saw it.
No. I got it. I
got
it
on TV, but the volume wasn't up, so I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, but I mean, I got a little clip of EB. He had a response to Shady, and I'll play it. But it's just for me personally, a guy that's been under Andy Reid for so long, since 2013 in Kansas City, been part of 5 straight AFC championships, 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl appearances. To me, his resume matters. His resume speaks. For me, it speaks enough. Like, I may not be able to gel with him personality-wise, but I know that he was part of something that was something great.
But his resume gets him in the door.
His resume should get him in the door.
But the interview is what keeps him.
If you're going on a scale, say, for example, resume, you need max of 100. He's bringing about a 90 resume, right? For a coordinator, he's about as high as you can get, a 90, 95 resume. Right. But what if you selling yourself, you're only a 30? Right. You know what I mean? So now you have a max 120 out of a 200. I don't say teams use that. I'm just showing the difference in the water levels, right? Now, I'm not saying he is that, but selling yourself, and I saw Mel say, "What's up, Mel? Haven't seen you in a minute, man. Hope everything's well." The press conference with the questions about Shady, that's PR coached up because you know those are coming. You know that question's going to get dropped, so the PR person is with you. When you're in the interview, you don't know what's coming. You're thinking on your feet. And I mean, we've all been in interviews. They all hit us with something we don't expect. Some people can navigate the waters. Some can't.
Yeah, I agree with you, LaCour.
Absolutely he did.
I agree with y'all. But my thing is like, just me personally, I can't put that much emphasis in an interview when I see cats that have a resume far less than Bieniemy getting jobs. Both the guys from the Eagles just lost a Super Bowl and got a job. Yeah. like first of all, when you literally just lost the Super Bowl and teams were literally waiting for you to get through with the Super Bowl to hire you, regardless whether you win or lost. And you look at the defensive coordinator's job, who literally failed miserably to try to stop anything of Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Gets a job. I mean,
but there's one major
It's got to be
difference.
something, though. Here's the thing. Go ahead.
There's
Go ahead.
one major difference you're leaving out, bro.
What's that?
They called all the plays. Sirianni wasn't calling plays. It was their show to run, and maybe that carries a little bit of weight.
That may be true, but I can't take that of what you're saying, especially when it deals with directly people that's been under Andy Reid. When Doug Peterson was in the same job, he wasn't calling plays under Andy Reid.
Championship, right?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he gets a job,
and he won a championship when he got that job.
No. He got the job. Yeah, he now he's on 2 jobs, and Eric Bieniemy still hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. The Andy Reid tree has delivered.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
You on this. I'm agreeing with you. Like, you took from the Andy Reid tree and you won the title. So the Andy Reid tree does have success.
So if Doug Peterson did literally the same exact thing as helping Andy Reid with installment, he wasn't calling plays. Matt Nagy was helping Andy Reid with installment, the offensive game plan. He wasn't calling plays. Eric Bieniemy is helping Andy Reid with the offensive installment. He's not calling plays. You got 3 individuals doing the same task, but 2 of them get jobs and 1 can't. I don't know what it is. But my thing is,
man, because you can't.
That's why you got to be the fly on the wall in the room to know. And now it's all speculation. And just to be clear, everything I'm saying is speculation. It's just
all we can
outside the box as to how did it take this much. And he still don't have the head coaching job. Like, for example, the Chargers. If I'm the head coach and the GM of the Chargers, the minute we fire our offensive coordinator and we know Eric Bieniemy wants a job as a coordinator, why wouldn't I bring that guy in to be with Herbert another year?
But I think Eric Bieniemy still wanted a head coaching job. I think he took this job because he's like, at some point, I got to get out of the shadow of Andy Reid, which I agree with. Yeah. Anybody that's ever said that he needs to get out the shadow of Andy Reid, I 100% agree, because at that point, it leaves no excuses when he succeeds to say, hey, it can't be because he was under Andy Reid that whole time. It can't be because it is. Can't be because of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because
but I'm just saying, as the enemy, Sam Howell, like you're literally putting all your eggs in as
no, trust me. They're going to be getting a quarterback in the draft. They're getting a quarterback in the draft.
They said after the season that Sam Howell is our starter going into next season.
What was that before the hire of Eric Bieniemy? Because if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm not taking his job.
That was after Howell started that first week after the season.
Hey, because if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm not taking his job. If you just giving me Sam Howell as my quarterback, there's no way I'm taking that job. There's no way. So my first
I think
they're gonna get. I think he was North Carolina quarterback last year. I think he was second round.
Yeah, he was second round, I believe.
Well, damn it, you better go get somebody else.
Well, it's too early to say what Sam Howell's going to be, so I'm not.
Yeah, but that's got to be part of the interview too. This is our quarterback. This is who we drafted. We drafted him second round,
and just kind of work with it.
Can you coach him?
Now, if he coaches him, look, if he at least gets him to playoff contention, then to me that answers all the questions.
100%. 100%.
I hear you. That's fair. I mean, no, he did get paid. He did get paid money. He got more money in Washington to be an offensive coordinator than he did in Kansas City. He gets the same assistant head coach title. And just in case, I do agree with AP's comment right here. Just the way that the language of Eric Bieniemy's contract is set up, I don't have it in front of me, but if you guys take a look at it, it's kind of set up in a place where, pretty much. I mean, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Do we really think Ron Rivera is going to last another full season in Washington?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, health is a concern more than coaching, right? Yeah. He's had some health issues, right?
He may have had a couple.
Yeah.
He had leukemia. Was it
think
Well,
so.
he did have
Yeah.
some type of cancer that it took him out, and then I knew he came back.
And I'm not saying that in a negative light, but
Oh no. This
that's
is
a fact.
that's a
Like,
realistic.
it's not just
That's a
coaching.
realistic
There's
concern.
real life shit.
Yeah, no, that's a
Right,
realistic
yeah.
concern. It's a
Right.
realistic
Aside from the
concern.
sideline, there's
I think that's what
real
AP
life
was
shit
saying,
happening
LaCour.
there.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but I think it's like this though. If you look at the totality of the situation, there's no way you can say that it's something. We can't. If there's not the interview, I don't think in this point it's color either, because people are hiring black people, just black coaches, just to kind of say, okay, we got somebody. Look what Houston did. They did just to kind of say, okay, we checked that box and keep it moving.
I might step back a little bit from that, Mel, because D'Amico Ryans does have ties to the Houston organization. He got drafted by them, played for them.
Well, I'm talking about prior to him.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, you ain't talking about, prior.
Okay,
prior to
I
him.
was just making sure.
Yeah, prior to him.
So David Culley and Lovie Smith, yes,
right. You know what I'm saying? So some people are just doing that just to say, okay, we checked the box. So why when they do that with him? Because you have in some cases you have a better chance of selling that, because he coming from a good pedigree. So that's why I'm thinking in this case, I can't say it's color. So if it's not the interview, what the heck is it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. This is like one of them things, like, you probably won't never find out until like after somebody's dead and they start spilling the beans.
And now to somebody write a tell-all.
Or tell-all or something like that.
Somebody got to write a telenova. All right, so this is pretty much what Eric Bieniemy had to say in response to a question asked about him and Shady.
Listen how they feel. When it's said and done with.
Oh man, fuck StreamYard.
It doesn't impact me in any way. Because one thing I learned actions. My job.
All right,
again, apologize for StreamYard.
Is that StreamYard, or is that just proof that Bieniemy is a bad communicator?
No, that's StreamYard. Bro, like StreamYard's been StreamYard has been pissing me off. StreamYard has been pissing me off the last few weeks. It's been
prehistoric internet mail.
I saw some breaking news.
No, it's been hella glitchy. All right, I'm gonna find a way to get that little Eric Bieniemy clip on the IOW Sports page.
Just kind of sum it up what he said though.
Yeah. Just to summarize it, Eric Bieniemy, he took the high road. Pretty much was very elegant about it. He pretty much said, "Hey, Shady McCoy is entitled to his own opinion. It doesn't affect me right now. I'm focused on being the assistant head coach and the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. I'm only concerned about what's going on in this building. I'm with Coach, Rivera, GM, getting ready for the draft. We're focused on getting this team better." That's pretty much what he said. So he took the high road.
Okay.
My thing is look again. I like the way that Eric Bieniemy took the high road. Obviously, that's what you got to do when you got cameras in front of you, and you just took a.
I would say this: it's only a bad decision if it doesn't work out. If it works out, this can be a smart move.
Well, I mean, it'll be a bad decision if he's fired in 2 years. Yeah,
I'm saying. So I mean, but if he takes it, and if he just improve that team just a little bit, it looks good for him.
Yeah,
especially with Sam Howell. You make Sam Howell look decent, or an average quarterback.
Make him Derek Carr, right?
Yeah, right.
Make him Derek Carr.
Yeah,
Derek Carr came in, didn't play outstanding, but from day one, you knew he was a 10 to 15 quarterback.
Yeah, right.
From day one, I saw his first game ever. It was at the Jets, the season opener, his rookie year, and he stood in the pocket. He took a beating, and I said to my boy who's a Raider fan, I'm like, you got yourself a quarterback,
right? Because
he showed the moxie from day one. Ironically, that he's the Jet quarterback in like a week.
What Mel say? Ain't a soundbite from the phone through the. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Good. Thanks, Mel.
No, that wasn't a soundbite. That was a video clip.
No,
so
he's saying
I'll play the
just
soundbite. Yeah,
go to
I'll
YouTube.
yeah.
My thing's in my car, so
No,
you Bluetooth it from your phone. You don't have to do the plug. You just Bluetooth it. Next time you have to do it that way. Just Bluetooth it. Hook your phone.
Hey,
up
hold on. Let me see if y'all can hear this through my phone.
You just hook. You know the Bluetooth button on the Rodecaster?
No. It's already hooked up. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Let me see if I can hook this up and y'all can hear this through my phone.
Cause my battery dead, almost dead on mine.
It's all good. Because I really want y'all to, some of these things.
But while you doing that, I'm gonna say this though about
go ahead.
Sam Howell is not a terrible quarterback. I mean, he has. Let me say this: he has some
Can you hear
potential
that?
there.
Everybody's entitled to their own position, to their own comments and how they feel. When it's all said and done with, I think that's all I have to say because he's entitled to his own opinion. That's life. Okay, you got good, you have bad. It does not impact me in any way. Because one thing that you learn when you're in this position, you have to learn to eliminate distractions. All right. My job is to focus on the now. Everything outside these walls has no impact on Eric Bieniemy moving forward.
Appreciate that.
Did I hear that?
Ooh, I like that. Talking in third person like The Rock. Let's go.
Good look, man.
What you say to Eric Bieniemy doesn't matter what you say to Eric Bieniemy.
I think he has some. I think he has some stuff he can use with Sam Howell. He can develop him, and like I said, I look good for him. So I don't think it's an overall bad move.
They need an offensive line.
They do.
They need to fix that.
They do. That's what the draft is for. That's what free agent is for.
Yeah.
Read for some paper.
Stop doing that.
I mean, if I'm betting on this, right?
Yeah.
It's either a grand slam to win the World Series, or it's looking at strike three down the middle to end the World Series. Like I think it's either
it's one side of the spectrum or the other,
or a huge whiff. Like I don't. With the structure of Washington, the possibility of ownership selling, Rivera's health, question marks at quarterback. You lost Scherf on the line last year. You got some, and then you lost Trent Williams the year before. You took two massive hits on the line. It's a work in progress, and that's for any coach. That would be for any. That would be for Sean Payton take over the Reds or the Commanders, whatever the hell they are now. I would say the same thing. Oh, crazy thing came in when you were in the midst of your Bieniemy thing. Former New York Giant, 28 years old, Davis Webb will now be Russell Wilson's quarterback coach in Denver. Sean Payton hired Davis Webb as his quarterback's coach.
Oh, wow.
So you get a stud name in Vance Joseph as your defensive coordinator. And then
don't say that.
I think Vance Joseph's a very good defensive coordinator.
No, Vance Joseph gets cooked by Patrick Mahomes. Go ask what he had to him when he was in Denver as a head coach. Got him fired.
I think so too.
Help him get fired. Help him get fired. And then Vance Joseph saw him again in Arizona this year.
A lot of coaches
fired.
Mahomes has fired a lot of coaches.
Yeah, but my thing is, it's like Vance Joseph. Look, don't get me wrong.
I like that. Matt said it's a great hire.
Nah, Vance Joseph.
The world pointing down at all the other petty teams that haven't won Super Bowls.
But all I'm saying is Vance Joseph he's a great speaker. I just want to say, Lamar, he talks and talks.
Now your team is winning, you becoming a snob.
Nah, come on. No, I'm being real about Vance Joseph. Vance Joseph, look, he had the personnel in Denver and failed epically as a head coach. He had the personnel in Denver. That he pretty much had the same roster that won Denver the championship in 2015. And he failed. Because he never answered the quarterback position. Never fully answered it properly. And he failed. So to transition this, because I want to talk about another team that's in turmoil. And shout out to my man Jay Jones of D Man Cave Sports Show. I'm sorry, man. As we transition from Eric Bieniemy and the beef with Shady, the Titans are the first team to make all the cap moves to get under the cap. Taylor Lewan, left tackle, gone. Robert Woods, gone. Couple of big names are cap casualties because they need to get under the cap. And it goes back to when they paid Ryan Tannehill all that money.
Mm-hmm.
Got to pay Derrick Henry. They refused to pay AJ Brown. And so, but
They couldn't.
well, yeah, they couldn't.
With Henry, Tannehill, Lawan.
Yeah, no, I get you.
They lost Jack
hear you.
Conklin to the Browns 2 years ago because they couldn't pay
you're right.
him.
They couldn't pay him.
They did awful long-term management. And I'm trying to find a tweet I saw earlier today to tell you who did it, but it said that don't be shocked if Derrick Henry asks for his release, and the first place on his list might be Buffalo, which would be right. That's what I said.
That'd be great.
I'm trying to get it.
That'd be a great pickup for Buffalo.
NFL rumors. ESPN's Jeff Darlington speculates the Bills could be a perfect landing spot for Titans Henry if Tennessee decides to move on or if he grants a release request.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So,
yeah.
That's
You
the
got
final piece. That's
You
the
got two
final
beats
piece
coming out
there,
the
listen,
backfield, Josh and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they're the same fucking size.
Right.
That one can
man,
block for the other. Whichever one
Right.
runs, the other one can
Imagine
block.
running an RPO with them two.
With
Henry
Josh
and
Allen
Josh
and
Allen.
right,
You got to go get like men on a mission to play on your D line. You got to go get like Earthquake and Tornado.
Right.
You need like big 450-pound monsters from the WWE. You need Vader playing nose guard. You got to get some big boys.
That's scary, man.
Man, if that goes down, wow.
I'm still not gonna pick them. I learned my lesson from last year.
No, I think that Josh Allen is so good. He hides all the deficiencies on that team. He makes up for the lack of running game. He makes up for the defense that gives up a ton of yards. He makes up for poor coaching decisions and time management. Josh Allen just a better coach. You put Josh Allen with Sean Payton, you might have the greatest quarterback of all time.
I keep trying to tell people.
Or if you kept him with Brian Daboll.
Thank you. You took it right out of my mouth because I was about to say it.
I was like, when I said it.
I was like, come on, bro. I was like, we can't be shocked that all of a sudden 1 year without Daboll, Josh Allen comes back down to earth a little bit and Daniel Jones rises a little bit. Which, sidebar, we need to talk about this because, Matt, you're here. You're in the building. Your boy Daniel Jones said he wants $45 million a year, baby. He wants $45 million a year.
He hasn't said it. That's the speculation that they could ask for that. I think that's media smoke. Because if you go there and Giants want to keep him, he gets franchise tagged to 32. 30 might be your goal, but you go so far above it, they're like, okay, we're going to franchise you at 32. And then you win. You get what you want without asking what you wanted.
Now, hold on, Nick. Now, you do know that they franchise him is the average of the top 5 salaries at that position. And you're talking about between 45 and 50 million. If they tag him, he's going to get
franchise tag this year for quarterbacks is 32. The exclusive right tag adds another 8 million to it, and it's 40. I just watched a top guy on NFL Network do a clip about this yesterday because of the Lamar Jackson situation. Franchise tag is 32. Exclusive right tag moves it up to 40. And change. Both are and change. It's not, it's 32.8 and 40.6, whatever the hell.
Now, that exclusive tag is when if they tag you and a team matches it, you get compensation if you go with the other team. That's an exclusive tag. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so.
Okay.
Exclusive rights is you cannot offer my player anything. Franchise tag is I believe you can offer, and if it gets accepted, the Ravens would then have the option to match it or then get the 2 1s that they put on them.
Okay. Yeah, let me
I am almost 100% on that because with Lamar, Carr, Rodgers, my Jet text group with all the guys I do shows with, I'm getting all the information. We're getting all the tweets. We're in on every little ounce. Anything that happens with the quarterbacks, we're getting texted about. So
okay, but since you brought it up, go ahead, Lamar. You about to say that?
No, go ahead, Big Homie.
Since you brought it up, what do you think he's worth being paid?
Say that again.
What would you pay him?
Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
I would give him similar to what Kirk Cousins got a few years ago. I think
I hate you. I hate you.
Why?
No, I literally hate you because me and Detroit's man said this about a week and a half ago. Literally, what we would pay him, and I was like, a 3 year 75 fully guaranteed, like Kirk.
I would go 375. If I'm the Giants, I would start at 3 for 75 with like a fourth for like 35, right? A team option for the fourth year. But I know. But Kirk Cousins, when he left Washington and went to Minnesota, he got 3 for 90 because that was when I wanted the Jets to draft Quentin Nelson, the guard from Notre Dame.
That was his second Minnesota contract. He got the 3 year 75, the first one. He got the 3 year 90 when he just re-up a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Right.
Because I wanted the Jets to get Kirk Cousins and draft Quentin Nelson. I thought that was better than signing a shitty guard and drafting Darnold and trading all those twos to move up 4 spots. Yeah. But I digress. I think as you watch Daniel Jones throughout the season, I think you saw a lot of growth. I think you saw a guy
confidence got right,
getting coached by a brilliant fucking mind.
Right.
Who
coaching matters.
Didn't have wide receivers, but just devised a scheme to
coaching matters.
Yeah. So if Dable says we got to get a top wide receiver,
another running back, but you can't find a Saquon Barkley, bro.
Last year he played pretty well, man.
Many Saquon Barkleys.
He played pretty good last year.
You just don't want to pay a running back on a second contract who's already torn his ACL. Like I'm saying now, Breece Hall, as good as he's going to be after the 4 years, that's it.
Let him go.
I'm not
mad at that.
You know my beliefs on running backs.
You get ready.
Never draft one in the first round.
You never pay them
in the first round, and you never pay them an elite second contract. Mid-level guys, third down backs, sure. We're going to give you 4 years, $16 million. Stick around, be our second, third back. Cool. Right. I'm not giving 60, 80, 90, 100 million to a running back. Because once the line goes and we can't afford to pay the line anymore, hi, my name's Ezekiel Elliott, and I can't do shit.
I used to be worth the fuck.
Yeah. And I've had to hear for the last 4 years from Dallas fans that, oh, he's a great blocker. Yeah? What happened on that last play of the season for the Cowboys?
Got railed. Anyway, MJ, what's up, bro?
What up, Matt?
What's up, man? What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Good. Oh, choking.
Hold on,
he keeps choking on that in his throat.
Yo, you there? Yo, Matt can't never talk about your connection ever again, yo. Yo, you there, Matt?
Oh, there you go.
Give us a thumbs up, brother.
He goes out to the car and gets out of the range of the Wi-Fi. He probably had to switch off the Wi-Fi. And forgive me, I had like a little choking fit there. I'm not used to talking this much.
Oh, God. Yeah, right. Come on.
I'm going to leave it
you there, Matt?
45 million my ass.
All right, well until we get Matt back on there.
Matt, if you can hear us, man, shut your Wi-Fi off. You're probably right in that range if you're in between both.
It happens to me. I leave out my house and come back in. I had to reconnect.
Nah, whatever you say, life alert connection, and quit that line. Anyway, no, look, I can understand. Obviously, I agree with you, Nick. I never pay a running back. I still hate the fact that we, like, even the Chiefs drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round, even if it was at a 32nd pick. Obviously, you see what the Chiefs have been able to do without him, especially with a 7th rounder in Pacheco, who
Pacheco was a beast, man.
He hurt all season?
Yeah, he was pretty much hurt for the majority of the season. Yeah, this year. But he that didn't do him any justice, because when you're talking about you're pretty much at the end of your rookie contract, it's time for getting an extension or get released. So this was his prove it year, pretty much, because
he can get hurt.
Well, because 2020, 2021, 2022, he's coming up on his 4th year of his rookie contract, and this is where the Chiefs can either release him and take a small little cap hit, or extend that 5th year option, which I doubt that they do. But no, I'm with you. You don't pay the running back. You don't do it. What's up, MJ? You good?
Yeah, been good.
How you doing, bro?
I heard y'all before. Nick talking shit. I come outside. Yeah, man.
The connection was great. I could see the video on the bottom of you, and it was great in the house. And then as soon as you hit the car, you might be in that like in between LTE.
Dead zone.
We've all been there. I ain't talking shit. I was trying to assess the situation.
You was talking shit. You know it. That's what you do, Nick. That's what you do.
If I'm gonna talk shit, I'm not. Ask Mel when I talk shit. I don't talk about your Wi-Fi. I talk about you chewing the wire like a rat. I go deep. That's what she said.
Hard to chew wire if you don't have your teeth in.
45 million, huh?
Ooh. All right. Yeah. Let's get to that real quick. That's why I wanted to jump. That's why I wanted to jump in for a few minutes. 45 million.
Mhm.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay. absolutely insane for a man. Dude, he's coming off a 9-7-1 season, 15 touchdowns, 15 in like 19 games, 18 games, some bullshit like that. 5 interceptions, great. For you to walk into the building and ask for 45 million, if that's what he is doing, or if that's what his agency is doing, dude, I would counter right quick. I'm like, you know what? 25. Like, what makes him think he is worth 45 million?
Maybe he look at the market.
I'll wait.
He look at the market and see what quarterbacks are getting and say, hey, give me that. Give me some of that.
Well, he's no Mahomes. He's no Rodgers. He's no. Right. I wouldn't even say. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely not Burrow, not Jackson, not Herbert, not Allen. You know, he's none of those. He's not even a top 15 quarterback. Top 15.
15 to 20. 15 to 20 is fair.
I think that's fair.
We'll say 20. Okay, 15 to 20. Well, we'll put him in there. But that doesn't make you a $45 million a year man. Absolutely not. And like Nick said before, with the tag, it would be only like 32.3 million, I think it is, for the quarterback this year. So tagging him wouldn't be too bad. See what you could do. You know, you got to give him one more year to really see if he's your franchise quarterback. If Dayball could do this with Josh Allen, give him one more year, and we'll see what happens.
I gotta remember, who the hell did the Giants have at wide receiver? Like, it's almost let's be honest. It's the weakest. It was the weak, and I'm not talking shit, Matt.
Don't do it. Hey, no. Hold on. Everybody stop. Hold on. Everybody stop. Please stop. Damn it, man. Didn't I tell you before this is a Kenny Galladay free zone? We don't talk about that bum-ass motherfucker on this show. All right? We don't talk about bum-ass motherfuckers who steal money from franchises and don't do nothing to show that they were ever worth it.
But we talk about hey.
They tried, though, right? Like Gettleman tried. They drafted Tony.
Hey, listen.
They drafted Tony and they signed Galladay. Right. But Tony was gone midseason. Galladay never showed up until the last game of the season. I think he caught his first touchdown in the last game. Collectively, every analyst said the Giants wide receiver room is the weakest wide receiver room in the NFL. I know, Matt, you said he threw 15 touchdowns. I think it's a fucking miracle that he got to 15 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at it at opposite of you, where if you build and you get this guy weapons and you go hit with a first-round receiver or you know, and then Barkley comes back, and now you got guys who were playing the 1 and 2 last year are now 2s or 3s and 4s, you're going to be that much better as an offense as a whole, because the offensive line is coming along nicely. You hit with Neal. Thomas grew into his own this past season, was highly ranked. You're starting to get this year. Yeah, and he looked bad year one. I'll admit. I was laughing at the pick year one, but he looked fantastic this year. Now, year one, I love Becton, and now
Thibodeau came on lately.
Yeah,
Thibodeau came
Thibodeau
on
battled
late.
injuries early on, and then but once he got on the field, he showed what he could
Yeah,
do.
but he was a monster second half of the season.
He's going to be very good. And
Now,
Anthony,
real quick,
all Tony had to do was tie his
No,
shoes.
he's going to be good. He got to stay healthy. Thibodeau got
he
to
would have
stay
been better than he was in New York. Ironically, my son, a guy that I've coached with the past couple seasons, I told you he's like the electrician contracted to the Giants. Nicky has a pair of Tony's cleats.
Oh,
because
really?
it had the number on there, and Nicky was a 12, and Nicky has a pair of Tony's cleats that he's worn for like practices.
Oh, wow,
that's pretty dope.
Nice.
Before like real quick about the Giants.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick about the Giants. I even explained this. Like me and my neighbor talked about this. If you look at the Giants receiving squad this year, okay, Darius Slayton. Okay, he was supposed to be their quote unquote number one. He is at best a 2, maybe borderline. It's actually a 3, borderline 2 on most teams.
Right.
And he was supposed to be their number one. He was throwing guys off the practice squad for Christ's sakes. So if you could get some weapons, see what he could do. That's all you could do with the Giants right about now.
I think that's fair tagging him for the $32 million. I think that's fair tagging him for the $32 million. See if he can progress another year under Daboll, which is safe to say that it could possibly happen. Obviously, look, let's get through the draft. Let's get through free agency, because obviously, I mean, you look at the Titans. There's going to be some teams that's going to have to make some adjustments to get under that cap. You know,
and Giants got money. I know that they will have money.
They will. Yep. That was the first thing they did was clean it up. The fact that they've made the playoffs and won a game in a year where you're cleaning up the cap and you're not doing that spending push is really impressive with that coaching staff. That was. I know I wasn't on a lot at the end of the year, but that Daboll, man, he's a
Hey, Matt wanted you to repeat that again, so just to make sure we got it captured.
Lamar,
I bust balls, but I always fairly assess whenever I give my opinion on a team or players. Like I don't sugarcoat shit, I don't fluff, and I don't shit on somebody besides Mel just to shit on them. But even Lamar, then, I've given Detroit a lot of credit the last 2 years about it being a team on the rise.
I hear you.
Real quick,
much
Lamar,
as I despise Mel, Detroit, and the only thing I like out of there is Eminem. Everything else is awful.
I swear to God, Lamar, I was gonna say, I swear on my father, I swear, I was gonna have him repeat it. That was my next, like when he was done, because I was leaving, I was gonna say, repeat that again, Nick. just one time, please. But I appreciate you, though, Nick. You're right. You call it how it is.
I said it from the day they hired him. I said they got a stud. They got a stud head coach. I didn't think it would be that good that quick. I will be honest. The entire division did have a very easy schedule. So the Cowboys, Philly.
Oh yeah, they did. Very soft.
Don't be surprised that they might lose a game or two more next year, but be a much better team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they might. The eye test you like that's a better team. Well, the record's not the same. They might be 9-8.
I know,
but you could see that team is about to elevate.
I can't remember offhand. I can't remember offhand everybody they got next year, but I do know they play the AFC. They play the AFC East next year.
Yeah,
they play the AFC
schedule that we had this year.
They play the AFC West.
So that's going from the weakest schedule to the toughest schedule in the NFL. If you're playing those two divisions.
I'm pretty sure they play the West also, because I think they're in Kansas City.
But you can't play both.
No.
You don't play both divisions in the AFC.
No, if I remember correctly, I think you guys for sure are playing the AFC.
He's got the East 100% because we have.
Then I think you got the NFC West. To be honest, I think that's what we. Either way, with you guys getting pretty much a third place schedule. So you'll be playing third place teams that are you'll play a third place AFC West AFC team. I'm sorry,
right?
And then you'll play the third place teams in the other divisions in the NFC. So
I got it up right now. You want me to run through it real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously they got the 3 home and away with the division, and then home they have Packers, Jets, Patriots, Rams, and Seahawks.
Yes,
I don't think there's an easy game in
West.
there. Patriots might be the easiest game. If Stafford's not back, the Rams will be. Away, you have the 3 division, and then you go Saints, Raiders, Cardinals, Niners, Dolphins, Bills. You got to hope you don't go to Miami in September. Nobody wins Miami in September. That heat is just
that heat.
You got to hope you get like November for them.
My cousin that lives just outside of Orchard Park Stadium. He's like a mile and a half. His father-in-law has season tickets to the Bills.
Oh, nice.
So we were talking when the schedule comes out, to make plans to go up there to watch the Giants play up in Buffalo.
Ooh,
Since he'll have he'll have tickets.
They have a camper. Do they have a camper?
He lives a mile and a half from the stadium. So
Well, no, I'm asking because they open up the camper lot on Friday night for Bills home games.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yes. People are there from Friday night. That's why when you see it on Sunday, it's just not 4 hours of drinking.
It's a party.
That's 48 hours of drinking.
Fucking party. No, they treat that shit like it's NASCAR when you open up the camper lot and park.
You ain't lying about that. That NASCAR scene is crazy.
Oh yeah. Hey, come on, man. I'm gonna have to take you to a NASCAR show.
I'm good.
Hey, nah, man. It's different. NASCAR is a lot different from 20 years ago. I promise you that. It's a lot different from 20 years ago.
Hey, Mel, trust me. I said the same thing about NASCAR. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I was like, fuck, no. But years ago, my father took me to Dover, and he's like, son, he's like, there's nothing like this. He's like, trust me. He's like, you're gonna enjoy yourself. 5 o'clock in the morning, we get in his guy that he had worked with had a conversion van, with all sorts of TVs and shit in there. 5 o'clock in the morning, cracking the beer, driving down there. Dude, we get down there, man. I could not believe the parties that were going on. I was like, this. Yeah, it was
NASCAR weekends
awesome.
are Mardi Gras.
And I wasn't even a NASCAR fan.
It's girls going.
Why you didn't leave with that part? You should just leave with that.
That's what I was trying to tell you, bro. That's what I said. You'll enjoy yourself at a NASCAR event, bro.
I'm at the.
You gotta lead up to it, though. You gotta lead up to it.
You can't start off with
supplier.
No, because I'm saying, like when you get to the event, that ain't like, well, okay, some of them are like that when you first get there, like,
right.
Talladega Nights and shit, like, oh, hope she's 18, type shit. But like,
I'm not
but the more and more you like, bruh, I'm telling you, like you enjoy yourself. Everybody really ain't tripping about nothing. They just trying to have a good time.
All you have to do is look 18. I ain't gotta ask.
Sir,
Mel will be like this. Sir? Mel will pull the card out of his pocket and go, what state are we in? Let me look here. What state are we in? Okay, you only
and then
they need to be. Ain't no gotta look. No, they need to be, sir.
And then you look down, you'll see the roofies on the floor. I'm like, oh shit, I spilled my bag. Shit. Search around like a junkie for his crack.
You know the Family Guy episode
allegedly.
You know the Family Guy episode where Peter holds up the card and it has like the color of skins to say if it's guilty or innocent. That's Mel with knowing the states and the legal limit. I mean, he's like, oh, we're South Carolina, 60. This state 70. This state 50.
No, bro. I can't. But no. Come on, man. You'll enjoy yourself at a NASCAR event. But hey, AP say you need to go to a soccer joint.
Hey man, soccer. I ain't gonna lie, those soccer women games be good.
No, they do.
They do. I will give them that.
I will say this: Alex Morgan.
Ooh.
That girl could do. She could.
Man, she be doing like
spit on me. She could do whatever she wants.
No, Alex Morgan is a great soccer player. We're gonna leave it right there, and we're gonna move on to the next conversation.
She's a great soccer player. I saw a highlight of her goal yesterday.
I got her post on my wall, all kinds of stains on it.
The angle of the camera of her kicking the ball, that curve was from behind her.
I seen it.
Yeah, bravo. It was a great kick.
Yo, she's badass. She is.
I didn't see the kick.
That's the part I was talking about, Matt. Thank you for saying it. I would be Mel on a cable wire.
hey, so let me ask you this, fella.
Okay.
Say hi, buddy.
right.
What's up, buddy?
Man? What's going on?
What's up, man?
He's in the middle of eating dinner.
Go ahead, Lamar.
Is anybody surprised that Lamar still ain't signed yet?
No,
I'm not.
no.
No, I'm not
Because
surprised.
if Baltimore wanted him, he would have been signed already.
Right.
Boom.
I think Baltimore is playing the charade. And this is something that the Jets fans have talked about ad nauseum.
Mhm.
If the team that drafted you is this reluctant to sign you, that's the biggest red flag, and everyone should be out.
Right.
I'm not giving up 2-3 ones for a player that in his prime, who's won an MVP, the team that drafted you want nothing to do with. There is not a bigger red flag for me as somebody with a quarterback desperate team. That's a huge red flag. I'm not giving up the picks, the money, and I know both sides of the argument. People are going to say that they built that team to be the running game. Greg Roman was the running coordinator.
Mhm.
They traded away Hollywood Brown. They've tried cheap options. But you have to keep putting those investments into the offensive line if you want to keep running the ball. You're not going to be able to pay the weapons if you're putting all your assets into the line and into the defense. And now you're going to pay a quarterback $50 million a year where you're not going to be able to get weapons? I mean, they drafted Bateman round 1. They drafted Hollywood Brown round 1. They're trying. But when you're drafting in the mid-20s every year because of how good your defense has been, and Lamar – is good enough to win 10 to 12 regular season games, you're never going to get that
High draft pick.
Julio Jones. You're never going to get that Jamar Chase. You're not going to get Garrett Wilson or CeeDee Lamb even. You're going to get guys in the 20s who are hit and miss, like a Treylon Burks last year.
He came on, though. He came on at late in the season.
He did a little. I mean, there's a lot of quarterback issues there. Let's be real. That team's going to break it down and go complete rebuild mode.
Yep.
When you got Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback, you're limited to a certain degree.
that team was like Baltimore, though. I remember they played a playoff game in Tennessee a couple years ago. Those two teams are mirror images of one another. They valued the offensive line. They had a mobile quarterback. They had a great run game. They put money in the defense, and the wide receivers were just like for show. Would you agree? Like those two teams are kind of the same.
I agree. I agree with you to what you're saying in regards to that.
Let me say one thing. I'm not putting Tannehill on Jackson's level.
Okay.
What
the
team wanted from them is similar.
Yeah.
Low pass attempts, rushing, use your athleticism, get out of the pocket. But the less our quarterback throws, the better chance we have to win, right?
Oh no disagreement right there, because I think they both are operating pretty much with the same game plan, as in let our quarterback be part of the win, but not be the reason why we lose.
Yes.
So I guess my question too would be like this: if you Baltimore, why don't you come to the negotiating table? You say, look, we can't pay you this because we need to get you this, and try to settle it, or just get rid of them all together. Why go through all these motions? Why drag it out? Because that's my thing. It's like, okay, look, we can't pay you $50 million because we need to get you some weapons. We can pay you this, and there's enough money to get you those weapons.
I hear you. I think you drag it out because, I mean, he still is Lamar Jackson. He's still top 10 quarterback, in my opinion, in the league right now. So you got to make
I'm not disagreeing with that, but my thing is like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make sure you cross all the T's, dot all the I's before you make any decision with this situation. Because I see it from both sides, as in to either give him the contract or to not give him the contract.
Who did the Ravens hire as OC, and who in the draft from Georgia as a quarterback?
Stetson Bennett.
I don't like Georgia quarterback though.
They took Munkin, the offensive coordinator from Georgia. He was a Tampa Bay coordinator, I believe, or head coach. I forget. Phil Munkin? I forget his first name.
Something like that. But he has ties to Georgia, and he was there with Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator.
I see where AP is going with. I see where AP is going with. But come on, let's. It sounds cute and all, but there's no way I'm going to drop Lamar Jackson for Stetson Bennett. There's no way I'm doing that.
I think they're the same age.
Yeah,
they're the same age. I think Bennett's older than Jackson.
You're muted, MJ. You're muted. Unmute yourself. I see your lips moving, but we ain't hearing that. There you go.
Stetson Bennett, the name alone will earn him a job.
In the 80s, he would have had a lot of
Stetson.
sponsorships.
I know.
Right? Stetson
Cologne for
Bennett.
men.
Stetson.
Stetson.
He wears
Nah,
Stetson and Levi's.
Nah, damn
With
that. If
Jordan.
he don't,
Wrangler.
if he don't succeed
Fucking
in
nut
football,
huggers.
he need to go. He need to go straight to porn. Stetson Bennett.
Or go fucking lasso some
Stuffing.
bulls or something.
Stetson Bennett.
Fits
Yeah,
right in.
He's a cheaper option. He's a cheaper option, but
Yeah, but
where does
you
that
gotta
leave your
change-
team?
That's a
you
lot
gotta
of
change your
development.
whole. You gotta change your whole offense because the offense is built around
Well, they
Lamar.
got to change anyway. They got a new OC in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, they got a
But
But
new
you're not doing a
offensive
complete.
minded.
You're not doing a complete
They gotta keep
overhaul. You're not doing a complete overhaul if you keep Jackson versus getting a new
No.
quarterback. You get a new
the
quarterback. You
rumor
got to do a
was-
complete overhaul. Overhaul. What'd you say on Nick?
You paused. I thought you were done. I'm
I
sorry.
said, I was just saying, if you keep Lamar, you're not doing a complete overhaul of the offense. If you get rid of him, you got to do a complete overhaul of the offense. So, I think my thing is, it's best to keep him, find a way to keep him, work this thing out. Let's move forward and move the team forward instead of dragging it out. But go ahead.
I
What you
mean,
about to say, Nick? Go
It doesn't. I wouldn't say it can be a complete overhaul. Depends on who they bring in after him. I mean, if they bring in a rookie, then definitely. But if they bring in somebody else, it's not a complete overhaul.
We got to bring in somebody else with that type of playing style.
I don't think it would be an overhaul. Munkin is an elite passing coordinating coach.
Okay.
You saw that this year with all of the stars that they lost at wide receiver at Georgia. The passing game didn't miss a beat.
Right.
They involved the tight ends more because they got two stud tight ends out there.
Stud tight ends. Oh my God.
Washington, and then next year will be the other guy coming out who might be top 10 next year. But I don't think you're going to see an overhaul. I think you're going to see an evolution.
Okay.
I think you're going to see them build the passing offense, and then you got to see, hey, can Lamar throw the ball and beat Burrow, Herbert, Allen, Mahomes, Carr with the Jets? Which we have
it's
to
a
get on before
possibility.
the show ends. We got to talk about that before the show ends. That's that whole situation, if you don't
Oh
mind.
yeah.
No, it's a
Okay.
possibility. Well, I mean, let's talk about it right now because it's still going to be a lot to see what's going to happen with Lamar and the Ravens. I think my prediction, like I'm still sticking with it. Like I've always said, I don't see him in a Baltimore Ravens uniform come training camp. There's no way I see him in a Baltimore uniform. I know they tried to, play kumbaya after the season ended and during the Super Bowl and trying to say, oh, he'll be involved and who help us with the OC and blah, blah, blah. I know they tried to do that. No. That shit ain't fooling me. I still don't see him in a Baltimore uniform. But anyway.
Let me throw a question at you, Lamar, because you always throw questions out to us. You
What's up?
did this to me last July.
Did I?
Asked me, where do I see KD playing opening day? And I said Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me closing day because I wouldn't have said where do you see Lamar? If you had a bet right now, life on the line, you got to put money down on the table. Where's Lamar Jackson playing opening day?
Miami.
I say Baltimore.
Miami.
I say Baltimore nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I say. Baltimore.
Reason why I say Miami is because is Miami wants to sit here and say as much as they want that Tua is their quarterback. He is a health problem.
They have
regardless of
they
anybody
to me.
say.
I think they have to say that. I think they're
Yeah, of course
have
they're going to
have
say
to
that.
say it.
But that's what I'm saying. Let's be realistic. He is a health
Yep.
problem. And guess who's up for contract extension? Not just Joe Burrow, not just Justin Herbert, so is Tua. So you got, not only are you making decisions about Tua money-wise, you're talking about Tua as in health-wise. So you're looking at Tua with two questions. Do I pay him with this health thing? And do I want to pay him as much as Burrow and Herbert are about to get paid too?
That'll be a no, dog.
No.
That contract made, and if he signs, wherever he signs, may be one of the most complicated contracts in NFL history because there has to be
Yeah, I heard that too, AP.
team protection out clause. There has to be, right? Mel, give me your Jackson prediction. I didn't hear it if you did throw one out there.
I think he'll still be in Baltimore, bro.
I'm going to go Atlanta.
Yeah, I heard people saying Atlanta. I don't like him in Atlanta.
I
Me
love
neither.
it. You
I
got
don't like
Pitts,
Atlanta.
you got London, you got Mariota and Riddler there. You got
You got to get rid of one of
who's the
them.
coach? Who's the coach? Is the offensive
No, Arthur
coordinator?
Johnson. I mean,
Arthur
Arthur
Smith.
Smith.
Arthur Smith, yeah.
And a very similar offense with Tannehill.
Yeah, no, he runs the
I mean,
RPO. He does. He
if
does.
he
does run the
leaves
RPO.
Baltimore, I think Atlanta's the team
Atlanta?
that pays up. I just think that he would be. Listen, that they had Vic, right? They loved and embraced the athletic,
RPO quarterback,
like out of this world freak of nature
athlete
at quarterback. Yeah. So I think that would be something to keep an eye on. If it's not Baltimore, and I don't want him on the Jets, and it's nothing to do with the player. I don't want to give up $50 million and multiple ones. We still have too much to build. I don't want to trade for Rodgers. I want Carr because Carr's a free agent. I can keep number 13. I can keep my number 1 next year. I can go get a stud offensive lineman at 13.
just got to pay him.
I can add Smith, Najigba Smith, and have a stud wide receiving core with him and Garrett Wilson together for Carr. So if you told me right now today, Aaron Rodgers says, I'm in for 2 years minimum guaranteed, I'd make that trade. But you don't know what you're getting. You're getting drama. There's no way I want any part of that. Is he in? Is he out? Is he committed? This dude plays in fucking Green Bay, and he's caught in his feelings every time someone asks him a question he don't like. What the fuck does he think Rich Samini's going to do to him? like, you get the New York media, man. If you fucking sneeze, they're like, I fucking sneezed in his hand. Didn't you know about COVID? Sneezed in trouble now. Like, the shit these people write is asinine. But if you can't handle Green Bay media, man, you are not going to like New York.
Not at all.
So give me Carr. And the reason I want Carr, quiet, humble, Christian, family guy, leader, not a lightning rod with things he says or does off the field. You know who he is?
But
he's Eli Manning.
He's
Eli.
Oh my God!
No, hear me
I
out.
won't. We're good. I ain't gonna say nothing about the 2 rings he's got. That's that's it.
Off the field.
Like you saying,
Eli fit in New York as a quarterback because he was boring as shit. That's Carr. That's how you have to be with the New York media. Darnold getting mono, Wilson with his mom's comments, and then the family, the uncle being like the owner of JetBlue. Like, there was so much heat. Carr is never going to say the wrong thing. He's never going to do the wrong thing. The team's going to love him. The media will get bored with him, just like the Giant media got bored with Eli. He was great standing up, was the team guy, said the right thing all the time, never put the attention on him unless it was a loss. He took the blame. He said the right stuff. That's what I think Carr would be in New York. It would be so boring. It would be perfect. And that's a compliment to Eli. That's not a dig at Eli. Eli fit in New York because he wasn't Baker Mayfield. He wasn't trying to sell himself. He was a team guy who worked hard and the locker room fucking loved. And I think that's what you'll get with Carr if he comes here.
Here's a question for you. Outside of the Jets, who do you see going to be the quarterback in Tampa Bay?
I think Jimmy G might be an option there.
I was just about to say that.
Oh, I think
that's where he was going.
He'd be a good fit, though. He'd be a good fit.
Yeah, I could see Tampa. I mean, you're breaking it down. You gotta look at it 2 ways.
It ain't Kyle Trask. He ain't the answer.
No. But you just extended.
He went to shitty Florida anyway.
Evans makes a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So you have 2 receivers that you're paying.
Fuck you, Mel.
You're not going to go with Kyle Trask when you're paying those wide receivers that money. You're going to go get an adequate quarterback, hold the fort guy, Jimmy G, Matt Ryan, if they're done with him in Indy, and then maybe draft the round 2 guy this year or next year. But I think you're going to go get a low-level experience starting quarterback until Tom Brady comes back in like 2 weeks, and then it's him.
Tampa already made your choice yesterday. Is
they say that now, but
they get a chance to get Jimmy G. They'll take him.
Well, first of all, that decision ain't going to be setting permanent marker anyway, because let's get through training camp. Let's see what they got through mini camp first.
Right.
And then training camp, and then if you see them making moves, that'll give you the answer how much they really feel about their quarterback now. What they're saying now may not be what they really be feeling later. So I wouldn't put too much stock in that AP. I mean, look, teams are going to say what they're going to say right now because that's what they have on their roster. That's what they are dealing with right now.
Right.
Teams are going to say whatever the hell about any situation they got. Ravens are going to say that about Lamar because that's what they are dealing with right now. Jets are going to say one thing because let's be honest, they know they're in search of a quarterback, but they're going to say certain things right now.
When the owner says we're all in on a quarterback, like word for word, the owner's like, we're all in. We're a quarterback away. These guys have everything they need to go get a quarterback. Like that was the closing press conference.
So let me ask you this though.
Go ahead.
Big homie about the Jets and Zach Wilson. You ready to close the chapter on that and move on? Are you okay with it?
I think if they get anywhere near an adequate offer, they would be happy to move on with him post June 1st because the cap hit is much less.
Yeah.
But I also think that they might be content with bringing in a vet and letting him sit and learn because playing that BYU schedule that COVID year, he wasn't ready to come in and be a day one starter. But that's been the trend in the NFL. I've said it on the show before. Mark Sanchez said, ever since that year before him with Flacco and Ryan, it's been guys get drafted in round one and they start immediately.
Right.
Not everyone's built for that. Not everyone can do that. Trevor Lawrence, the 3-year starter at Clemson in playing in national championships.
I was going to say the same thing. The same thing goes with
guys who will never see the NFL except in the stands.
Same thing with Trey Lance. Like Trey Lance wasn't ready.
Yeah, he wasn't.
But now I got injury questions about Trey Lance.
That's what I say. Yeah, now you got to worry about that.
So Trey Lance, first of all, didn't have a lot of evidence that he could be a good football quarterback because he didn't play a lot in college. Right. So you got limited opportunities. He wasn't playing much, and then all of a sudden, now you're hurt.
I got to bounce, gentlemen.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Nick, good to see you, man.
Everybody be well. Everyone in the chat, take care.
All right.
That's all good.
Go ahead.
But no.
Hold on 1 second.
No, I was just saying it's just that, with certain players, you just really just don't know what you're going to get until you get the opportunity to get them into play in situations until you literally put him in the fire. But you know what? Let's transition because I'm glad Matt is here. I got a 5-minute clip.
Before you do that,
yeah, go ahead.
I think the Ant brought up a good point, and I want to kind of address this. Who you think is going to trade up for the number 1 pick for Chicago's pick? And if you the GM of one of these teams, what team would you think it'll be?
Who's really desperate for a quarterback?
Man, you're looking at Indy, might be looking for one. Who else? Depends on what they do with Tannehill. Carolina, you're looking for one. They pick 9th.
They got draft capital now.
Yeah, and they pick 9th. So, most of the ones is the top quarterbacks. Houston might be, or Houston picking number 2 though, so they good. But
we'll see that. I'm glad you said that because if Houston's sitting there at number 2, and obviously I think they need to go get a quarterback. They need to get one of these quarterbacks. Davis Mills ain't the answer. I think he proved that. So Houston.
So you look at it like this, okay?
Yeah.
Chicago is not gonna pick a quarterback. They already know that.
Wait, hold on. They shouldn't.
No,
they should pick a quarterback. They should pick a quarterback. Houston picks number 2. Houston probably pick quarterback. So you're looking at Stroud or Young coming off the board, right?
1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2. So you're looking at if I'm like Indy, Carolina. If I'm Indy, Carolina, I'm looking at my board and say, who do I want?
Yes.
Right. So then you say, well, I think Houston gonna pick a quarterback, so I didn't want to take a chance. You trade up and get so you can get who you want if you're Carolina or if you're Indy. Or Carolina because Carolina picks 9th. So there's no Will Levis. You already know Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, and Young are the top 3.
We
And
just had it fixed.
the top 6 picks
I can't get the guy to come back
are
here.
not going to pick. All going to pick quarterbacks. You know,
No,
like
you're gonna
Chicago
sit over there.
shouldn't pick a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Chicago shouldn't pick a quarterback. Houston gonna pick a quarterback. That's one off the board.
Mm-hmm.
Who's 3? I forgot who's 3. I know Seattle's 5, so they probably won't pick a quarterback.
No.
All right, so they and then I can't remember who's 3 and 4. Who's 3 and 4?
Hold on, I'm remember.
I need Detroit is 6, so they probably won't pick a quarterback. So you got ladies 3 and 4. You looking it up?
Yeah. NFL draft order: Chicago,
Right.
Houston, Arizona.
Yes, Arizona. They shouldn't pick quarterbacks. So that leaves one on the board.
Yeah.
All right, and who's on 4?
Indy.
Indy. All right. So Indy may not move because they're looking at only one team should pick a quarterback. The only way they may move unless they got one they have in mind. They just got to have that quarterback. So Carolina probably a better candidate because they picked 9th.
Yeah, Seattle's at 5, Detroit's at 6, Vegas at 7, Atlanta at 8, Carolina at 9, and Philly at 10.
All right, so you look at it from this standpoint.
Look at Vegas.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you look at it from this standpoint. I'm Carolina picking 9. Vegas may pick a quarterback. They pick before you. So do you trade up with Chicago to get who you want, or do you kind of roll that dice and see what happens? See if Levis or Young or Stroud, one of them will fall to you.
Honestly, I'll be honest. It literally depends on who you got on your big board at quarterback. If you got C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young as your top 2 quarterbacks, and you saying you want one of them, you're going to have to trade up.
Okay. Yeah, you go and get them.
Yeah, you go get them.
Okay.
Because I mean, let's be frank. It's C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and then there's everybody else in this draft class.
I don't even think Levis is in that conversation.
No,
he has.
That's what I'm saying.
He has the stereotypical quarterback body type.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what really giving his stock a little movement upward. But I don't think he's gonna be as good as everybody say he was. Now I will say this: he goes to the right team and maybe sit for a minute. He can develop to be a good quarterback. Maybe not a great quarterback, but a good quarterback.
You know the quarterback who I think really is going to throw a wrench in this whole first round?
Who that?
Richardson.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's because he's
from where?
Come on, man, stop.
Backyard State.
From Backyard State. Yeah, he went to Backyard State.
Yeah, but you know what? But
and a quick rebuttal to you, Mel, real quick. Fuck you on Michigan and how they do this year? At least when Florida gets there, they kill it. You know what I mean? All right. Now we're done.
Back to our retro schedule program.
Because Richardson's so hard to evaluate is because you see the potential in him, because if he's under the right tool, right coaching, right system, like you can possibly get a Josh Allen type. The only bad thing is he can get turnover happy because he's inexperienced.
He's raw.
Yeah, he's very raw. He's very raw. Yep. But the crazy thing is he has a Josh Allen, Cam Newton build. And
I would like him somewhere where he can sit.
To me, if you get him, you have to sit him.
Sit, develop. Don't throw him out there in the fire.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a long season.
Right. let him develop, because he has the talent. He has the athleticism. He just needs to be polished.
Oh yeah,
you get somebody that can polish him up real good.
What about this? What about him sitting behind Russell Wilson and Sean Payton?
That'd be good. That'd be
great.
Richardson?
Yeah.
Yeah, but good thing. No, it'll be good for Denver because you wouldn't have to go in the first round to get them because they don't have a first round anyway.
Houston takes C.J. Stroud, Patrick with Levis, and Richardson to Vegas.
Is there?
I don't know. You got a point there, Ant.
Richardson to Vegas. Huh?
The Vegas do need a quarterback.
Down,
Let's say
down to the
honest.
Panthers.
Yeah. Shout out to the Panthers.
Bryce.
Young to Houston.
Well, if that,
Panthers.
well, I'll say this: if that's the case, just because of the connection between Bill Belichick and Nick Saban, I can see Josh McDaniels going up trying to get Bryce Young from Alabama. I can see that.
Okay.
So,
Same with the Bears.
I can see Vegas probably trading up. Well, but let's be honest about Vegas. I don't think they're off the Aaron Rodgers train yet. I don't think they are.
No, I don't think so either.
The Raiders are a true viable place to land Aaron Rodgers.
Well, Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson throws a monkey wrench in all this.
Yeah,
based on where they may go.
To me, those are the two dominoes that need to fall first.
Right.
And especially if Rodgers moves.
Mm-hmm.
If he moves on from Green Bay,
that throws a wrench in everything.
If he goes to Vegas will have to pick a quarterback.
No, they don't.
They necessarily don't have to move from where they are.
No, Vegas can actually move out the first. They can move out the top 10 and pick up draft picks from other players that want to from other teams that want to move in that top 10.
Yeah, they could trade back.
Yeah, I would trade back if you go get your quarterback.
This draft is full of cornerbacks, full of defensive tackle and defensive ends. I mean, it's plenty of them in this draft. And by the time the first top 10 pick, it's still going to be because you got possibly four quarterbacks going to go in the top 10. Possibly. At least three, for sure. I think three will go.
I don't know. I might just stick with just CJ Stroud and Bryce Young.
Don't
get me wrong on Will Levis and Richardson. Don't get me wrong.
But from what I'm listening, from what I'm hearing, people are loving Levis, man.
Yeah. They have been talking
top
a lot
10
about
though.
him.
Yeah, but okay, look at who. Okay, we already said,
and it's no diss to Will Levis because I've been hearing the same thing too. Because I like Will Levis. My only knock against Will Levis is he played at Kentucky with a team that had no offensive line, weren't keeping them healthy and keeping them upright. So you really don't get a true evaluation on what Will Levis can actually do. I hear what you're saying though.
But okay, look at it like this. So you already know that Chicago not picking a quarterback. Well, they trade back or not.
Shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
I'm sorry. Shouldn't be a quarterback. You're right.
Because these motherfuckers, I keep hearing too much chatter about moving Justin Fields.
That's the media on some bull, man.
Look, either way, I hearing it too much, and I don't like none of it.
Because getting rid of Fields is idiotic to me. It's too soon. What did you haven't given this man nothing? And from God
2 years he's had nothing.
God forbid to give any Ohio State person props, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh, so this is hurting for you to say this shit right now.
But to the heart.
Hey, hold on.
Heart.
Hey, everybody, listen up. Mel, go ahead with what you're saying.
But you don't have anything around him.
No.
Yeah.
Back it up. What'd you say?
You ain't getting away with this.
Hell no.
I mean, he's a decent quarterback, man.
Hey, MJ, you see that guy?
That dude full of shit. Full of shit. Oh my God.
Well, so
I need to throw the hat on for this one. You full of shit.
Yeah,
so he's just a decent quarterback now.
Yeah. Motherfucker says, yeah. Hey, they all can't be from Michigan, you know. You know them Wolverines.
Yeah. My man just praised him. We asked him to repeat it.
That's all right. It's recording, so about about an hour and 34 minutes in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Trust me. We'll postmark this motherfucker right here.
But we're going back to what I was saying. So Chicago shouldn't pick a quarterback. Let's go with that. All right.
Yeah. Yep.
So we know Houston to pick a quarterback. That's one off the board.
Yep. Arizona's not
going to pick a quarterback.
Nope.
Who else we got?
Indy's at 4.
Indy's
Yeah,
at 4.
Indy's
Yep.
probably pick quarterback. That's 2. All right. Then you got what?
Seattle, and then Detroit.
Seattle shouldn't pick a quarterback. It
Yep.
seems like they're going with Geno.
They
Yes,
should go
yeah,
with Geno.
especially if they
should go with
lock
Geno.
him up. Yeah.
Right. So
There's
Detroit's not
talk
going to
to
pick a
lock him up.
quarterback.
Hey, and the good thing is you don't have to break the bank with Geno. You don't have to pay him $45 million.
Right.
You can
You don't-
pay
you
him.
don't- you don't
You
have
can
to
pay
pay
him
him
30, 32.
You
Here's
don't
the
have to
thing
pay him
with
Daniel
here's the-
Jones money.
Right. Here's the thing with Seattle. You have a decent enough quarterback based on what he played, how he played last year. We're going on based on last year. So based on how he played last year, you can build a team
Around him.
or just build a team in general and later on move off of him.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Use what you have.
3 years, $75 million is what I would pay Geno Smith
You know what I'm
right
saying?
now.
You have capital-wise, draft capital, and all that stuff around. Build your team, and then when you get to that point where you think you're there, do you make a decision where you're going to keep them and get rid of them? But, all right, Detroit's not going to pick a quarterback.
Nope.
So
Vegas 7.
Vegas needs a quarterback. That's 3 already.
Mhm.
So that's 3 quarterbacks. And then who's after
Atlanta
Vegas?
8.
Atlanta, depends on Lamar go there or not. So they don't seem like they're satisfied with Ritter. Will they pick another quarterback?
Now
Mariota.
if you back up to 7 with the Raiders,
Yeah.
you know, they might have their quarterback by the time the draft comes around.
Yeah, that changes too.
So they might not need to draft
based on
one.
what we have, now, information we have
Oh.
now, that's 3
Hey,
quarterbacks.
real quick, let me get to Anthony's comment because
go ahead.
here's my thing, AP. If they move on from Lamar,
Mhm.
they're gonna have to trade him to one of these teams that are in the top 10 for them to even get that high up to get a pick.
Right.
Because they're at 23, and there's no way. Look, I know the Chiefs did it in 2017. They went from 24 to 10 to get Mahomes. But if you're going to do that type of jump to go up into a top 10 to get one of these quarterbacks, if you move on from Lamar, you're going to have to give up a lot to get. Because first of all, you're actually going to lose the compensation you got from Lamar to move up. So my thing is, you're better off trading with either Houston, Indy, Seattle, Detroit to get in that top 5%.
I'll take that. If I can get some more draft picks, I'll give him number 6 if I'm Detroit.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're gonna have to trade him to one of those teams in the top 6 to even sniff to get a chance at CJ Stroud or Bryce Young to replace Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Right.
That's the only way you're gonna make that happen.
Right.
So
going back to the original thing, 3 quarterbacks can go off the board in the top 10 based on what we have. We don't know what moves happen and trades happen. So we're not talking about the Lamar trade. We're not talking about what Rodgers may go. But based on what we look at now, I think 3 quarterbacks off the board, top 10.
That's fair. Yeah.
So now
I'm going to preference Will Levis to me is on the cusp with that 3rd quarterback. Yes or no?
They'll take him, man. I'm telling you, man.
I hear you.
You've been hyping him so much. They're gonna take him, bro. I mean, I wouldn't, or they might take Richardson.
I keep seeing
that would be a reach.
But what team you see that would take Richardson right now? The starting at that and move up that high to get him.
No, wait. To start Richardson?
Yeah.
First of all, my thing is
if you take him in a top 10, you have to start him.
Now, hold on.
You don't move up and get Richardson.
First of all, if anybody's taking Richardson in top 10, I think you need to get drug tested as a general.
I mean, I agree. I'm just saying.
He's the best quarterback in the draft.
Come on, man. See, look, you high right now.
No, I'm saying like you can't. I said before, he's raw. He ain't ready. He's not day one.
No. The only thing raw around you is your rolling papers, man. Quit that shit. What you talking about?
I use Dutch, by the way.
But I'm saying, if you pick him, if you draft him that high, you got to start him. You can't draft that high and sit him.
Well, see, but that's the thing. I don't think. Here's my thing. I don't think you have to start anybody. That's just me personally. I don't think
you pick that high, man. You can't pick that. If you move up to get him, I'm not saying if he falls to you in your pick. You know what I'm saying? If he falls to you and you're number 9, say Carolina, say Levis falls to you at 9. Technically, I might not start him the first year, but you got to start him the second year because he's in the first round.
Yes.
You know
And
what
he's
I'm saying?
making first round money.
Making first round money. So
Top
you
10
have to
money.
get out there and see what he can do, or you have to move off of him before you have to pay him that money after the rookie contract over with. So you have to start him at least the second year.
Okay, Coach. Let me retract because we've had this conversation before, and I want to stay consistent with what I say.
Go ahead.
Anytime you take a quarterback in top 10, to me, they're saying that you have absolutely nothing at the quarterback position, and going and getting a quarterback in the top 10, he should be starting week 1.
You don't start. I agree with you, Ant. I agree with you too.
So I think we're in agreement right there.
Yeah.
Now, when you got, to me, once you go outside the top 10, you may get them in the first round, but to me personally, you don't have to start them right away because you might have questions at quarterback. Like, the only reason why you go and get Mahomes at 10 is because, hey, we know what kind of talent, and Sean Payton has been known that he wanted Mahomes just as bad as Andy Reid. So you go ahead and you leap in front of him and go ahead and get him because you've already got questions on your ceiling with Alex Smith. So you do go and get him. You sit him.
In that case, it makes sense because you have Alex Smith, who is a good placeholder quarterback.
He's serviceable.
Yeah, he can get you to the playoffs and possibly a couple breaks here, even the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A few breaks over here based on the team you have, he can get you a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to get Mahomes. But going back to Richardson, if I'm a team, he's a good, let's not talk about his talent. I'm just talking about far as business-wise. He's a good pick for you late second, third round, because you're not paying on that top money. He can sit for 2 years and you can develop him. Then it looks like it's a great move.
But the greatest example of exactly what you're talking about is Jalen Hurts getting picked in the second round. Greatest example.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts got picked in the second round. So he wasn't getting paid top 10 first round money. So therefore, when you had questions at your quarterback position, when you had Carson Wentz and all these other cats, you was like, all right, at some point, it's probably going to be him. But let him get the way of the land. And then what happens? He gets in 2.5 years later, he's in a Super Bowl. Right. So it's a win in the long term. And you find out what you have in the short term.
No doubt.
And then you can go back and reassess. All right, well, we can we'll keep reevaluating. What's up, Ryan? We'll keep evaluating Jalen Hurts, but let's get a defensive end. Let's get a safety. Let's get a cornerback. Hey, let's go get AJ Brown.
Right.
Hey, that helps. We'll keep building our team, and then we'll pay AJ Brown. He'll be here, and him and Jalen Hurts will start building that connection. We'll draft Devontae Smith. So I 100% agree with you in that aspect. As it get people like Will Levis and Richardson in a spot that they're not going to be asked to be it all.
Okay, I'm with you.
If you ask them to be it all, you got the chance to potentially damage them, harm them, because that learning curve has got steeper now. Because now, damn, I done took my lumps and bruises like a mug, but
but the problem is though, most of the teams that we name need a quarterback, and by the time if you're not getting Stroud or Young, all you got left is Levis.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So what you gonna do? I mean, you
can add
Richard into that fold because he is a talent. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, even after Levis and Richardson, it's a big drop off.
Yeah, because I don't think Hooker's up that way. Then Hooker's older, and he has injury.
Malik Hooker, Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah, and he just came off a leg injury. Yeah,
I'm off a leg injury, so he has questions. He's still in the third round. Still in the third round.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. Man, if you get him in the third round, pick him up. He has the potential. The problem is with him, because he's older, the time for him to sit is less. Because he's 25, I think? Is he 25 or 24?
Something like that. Yeah.
So say he's 24. He sits for 2 years. Now he's 26. This is prime time. You know what I'm saying? He in his prime now and hasn't really had any experience to play. Versus you got Richardson or Levis or somebody like that who was younger. You sit for 2 years. They're still young. By the time they hit their prime, they ain't got experience behind them, and they can really develop into a good quarterback.
And as much knowledge as you can actually get and gain from actually just sitting back and watching and observing.
There's nothing wrong with holding the
we'll
headset
get to that,
with the
right?
clipboard.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. You can learn a lot.
Yep.
You should. You don't know.
Right. Well, so let's go ahead and transition because we got the last 15 minutes because we want to talk about Djokovic.
Well, I mean, if we don't get to everything, it's all right. But I definitely want to talk about this because I got this 5-minute clip, and I know it's 5 minutes, but the best way to play it is through here. 4 minutes and 55 seconds. I want everybody to pay attention to this because we got our baseball guru Matt here with us. Baseball is going through a whole lot of rule changes in there, and pretty much they are doing what every other sports entity is doing, as in it's time to attract a certain demographic. Take a look at some of the rule changes that they got going on.
After years of debate, Major League Baseball is implementing restrictions on defensive shifts. All 4 infielders must have both feet within the outer boundary of the infield when the pitcher is on the rubber. Number 2, lateral positioning. 2 infielders must be positioned on each side of second base when the pitch is released. Number 3, no switching sides. How does this look on an infield?
Have the depth. I can't go stand deep in the outfield grass anymore. I got to be engaged with the dirt. That's basically what that says with the outer boundary. So now your infielders are there. The other one is that 2 infielders have to be on one side of the diamond. So I'll use that cone as my third baseman over there. This is my shortstop. So he would have to stay in this position.
Provides players with greater opportunities to showcase what Harold was talking about. Athleticism. Number 2, to encourage more balls in play and counteract the growing trend of 4-player outfield alignments.
We have all these great athletes. This generation, we talk about the best athletes to come along. We don't see it.
Right.
Now we'll get a chance to see them.
We are. Having Raul here is great. He played over 140 games at first base in his career, which is significant because that base, all the bases, have grown. I want to show you the difference from 15 inches to 18 inches. Earlier, Raul explained why that is important.
The difference between the bases at the minor league level and the major league level is 3 inches. We're still measuring from home plate to the back of first base. It's still 90 feet, the way it traditionally has been. The reason for this rule change is strictly for player health and safety. The first baseman is now gaining a 3-inch advantage and moving him out of harm's way of the base runner. It's to avoid collisions and to keep players on the field healthy where they belong, performing. We've seen players get stepped on. Now you're gaining a 3-inch advantage towards the playing surface, and it's going to be especially helpful on throws that are made from the catcher or the third baseman or even the shortstop coming this way where the ball sails into the runner's lane where the first baseman can catch, tag, and spin. He's 3 inches further away from a collision.
It's Greg Amsinger and Harold Reynolds in Studio 42, excited to talk about the pitch timer, which has been in existence in AAA, and my goodness, the impact it's made. In a 9-inning game, the average time of game has been trimmed by 26 minutes, and now here we are. It's coming to the big leagues, Harold.
Well, it's coming to the big leagues, and I like it. I like the pace. It forces guys to get in the box, engage. You're always continually keeping action out there. And that's really the beauty of this whole thing.
You want to see how it looks on camera? We found 2 situations that are eerily similar. Blake Parker, a veteran reliever, been in the show for a long time. Now, on the left side of the screen, you're going to see him with the Memphis Redbirds pitching in AAA with the pitch clock. Now, on the right side of your screen, this is an at-bat against Matt Carpenter from 2021 when he was pitching with Cleveland. Blake Parker's always been known as a deliberate reliever.
Looks like he's going to speed it up a little bit, but the rule forces guys to get the ball, don't overthink it, let's go, and speed what I said earlier, the pace of play.
In AAA, 14 seconds with no one on base, you have to start your motion. It's not a ball if you release the ball past the pitch clock going to 0. You have to start your motion going towards home plate, and then it resets. So here's Blake Parker having to get the ball and go through all of his antics in a much more efficient way than he did on the right side of your screen in 2021.
Well, and I love the word efficient because it made him a more efficient pitcher, but the game is more effective. And if I'm defending, it's going to keep you in the rhythm of the game too. I'm not standing around wandering, drifting like this guy's got his The towel pulled over his head. Let's go! Even guys on the bench are saying, let's go. But the pace of play picks up. That was his 5th pitch right there. And we're in the 3rd pitch still, getting ready to deliver his 4th pitch in the Major League game. That's a big difference.
It is a big difference. Blake Parker, who's always been a late game guy, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. At one point in his career, a closer, high leverage reliever. We're so used to the game being close towards the later stages and the game slows down. Well, with the pitch clock, it feels like it's almost speeding up even more in a great way.
Well, and it's great not only for the pitcher, but for the hitter as well. You know, you see Carpenter in this at bat right here, and it just made me think about how he was so deliberate. It also affects the hitter. When the pitcher has to speed up, the hitter has to speed up, and the pace picks up.
Well, like I said, 4 minutes and 55 seconds on that clip, but there's a lot of rule changes that's going on in baseball. I know it's a lot, and we're going to, for the last 2 minutes of the show, we're going to break it down. So, my baseball guru, Matt, man, I know it was a lot in that clip, but what did you like? What did you hate about some of these rule changes, man?
Well, number one, I don't like the base, the size of the base. That's really? Just I'm not a fan of that. You know,
I'm actually surprised for you to say.
Yeah, I actually like that. I actually like that.
I mean, I'm old school when it comes to baseball. Like, you know, especially when it comes to like, don't alter the balls. Pause. Don't alter the bases. You know what I mean? Like pitcher's mound, home plate. Don't alter. There's no reason to alter that. The pitch clock. I understand why they're doing it. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I guess I gotta see it more.
Right.
Because I mean, I enjoy watching baseball games. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind watching a 3-hour game because that's what I choose to do.
Right.
It's MLB that's trying to speed up the game of the pace of play. Mm-hmm. You know, they're trying to avoid. You know, they don't want the guys stepping in and out of the boxes so much. You know, adjusting the gloves. You know, taking their sweet ass time. Mm-hmm. You know, so I get they're trying to speed that up.
Right.
With the shift, that. Basically, that's. I'm not a fan of the shift, but if that's what teams want to do, that's that's their exactly. That's their choice. If that's what they want to do, if you can't hit, the thing is like most of these guys nowadays. Nowadays, they're home run or nothing. Right. I mean, all or nothing guys, and these teams know that, so they're gonna put the switch on. You know, because they know you're not going to go opposite field with the ball. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's where, if that's the way the shit is going to be, they need to start teaching these guys down in low class A ball.
Right. Yeah.
You know, how to go opposite field with the ball.
I agree.
You can't tell me as a major league hitter you cannot hit the ball opposite field.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can't.
When I played Little League baseball, they were teaching us
how to hit
opposite field.
Correct.
I'm left-handed, so I was able to hit opposite way because everybody would shift and I hit the other way. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the game.
Yeah,
that's
definitely part of the game.
So, yeah, but I knew that was coming because they was talking about that for a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. So
we were talking about that.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised about it. I actually don't mind the base thing because for the player safety and everything like that. So I have a problem with that.
But you're also giving the first baseman 3 more inches towards the field. Like, the ball's coming from third base. You know what I mean? He's got 3 more inches of room that he's stretching.
Yeah, that's true.
That all comes into account. Right. Or like bang bang plays. Mm-hmm. He's gonna have that little bit more extra.
He's gonna have that advantage now. Yeah,
a little bit of advantage.
Yeah. That's
So I can see your point with the altering of the base is kind of iffy, but that one, I'm okay. I'm okay with you disagreeing with that one. But I was at first I was surprised that you said that, but then now that you say it like that, it kind of makes sense because
Right.
you don't, when you got bang bang plays and the first baseman has 3 inches of an advantage, and that can mean the difference between the base
Yes.
runner being out and safe. So
Okay.
I'm with you right
Yeah.
there. Now with the
Another,
shift. I'm with you 100% on the shift. My thing is like I've seen Tony Gwynn play his ass off. I've seen Ozzie Smith play his ass off,
Right.
and they were hitters, as in they
George Brett.
George
know,
Brett. Oh my God!
Right.
Come on, I saw George Brett live a million times. He
Mhm.
would put the ball wherever he wanted to, just like Tony Gwynn would do, just like the great hitters.
Right.
Ted Williams. Go back in history of great hitters that are hitting high averages is because they were great hitters.
Yep.
And my thing is if you can't hit Oppo or can't pretty much if you can't hit the ball where they ain't, then you're not a
Right.
real hitter. You are trying to be the Flash. Let me get the home run. Let me see if I can get a triple or try to get who's in the eyes. But you're not. To me, you're not a pure hitter.
Right.
If you can't hit Oppo,
So let me ask you this.
And
too.
to me,
Let me ask,
the shift is strategy.
let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I always come from a business perspective. As Major League Baseball, you look at I'm looking at it as a business. Most people that's like baseball the way it is are people like us. After Lamar age group, they starting to walk away from baseball. So
Yeah.
you thinking you in the
Don't watch the
boardroom.
highlights on YouTube.
You watch highlights from YouTube. So now you're in the boardroom. Well, however they get together, thinking how can we attract the 7 to 10-year-olds, the high schoolers and stuff like that to watch the game because their attention span is not like ours.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to sit through a 3-hour game. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Think about social media, all stuff now. They grew up around that. So now they like quick. I mean, what's popping now on YouTube? Shorts. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants something quick, boom, I'm out. So now you think, how can I attract? So you have to make these changes, but you have to balance these changes without changing the integrity of the game.
Yeah, the demographics have changed.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
And another thing I don't like is how the infielder has to be touching the dirt or something like that. I'm
The
not a fan of
positioning
that.
of it.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, if he wants to play, a couple feet into the outfield, so be it.
Right.
Hey,
it's
the defensive positioning and the shift rules. I'm not a fan of them because my thing is be a hitter.
Yep.
Hey, that's
wow.
There's 30 teams and they all got a hitting coach. Teach them how to hit.
And some teams have 2 hitting coaches.
Yeah, you have a hitting coach. You have somebody on your paid salary to teach these guys how to hit. Teach them how to hit.
Teach them how to hit.
Teach them how to hit where the defender ain't. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Hit them where they ain't. Yeah, I mean that's been the one thing that's always been told to all of us when we all played baseball growing up. Hit them where they ain't.
Right.
Why should that change now? Now, the one thing that I do love about these rule changes, I love the pitch timer because
to a certain degree, yeah.
Because what's all this wasted movement with the adjusting and it's not just the hitters, it's the pitchers too. They both stall it out. Where they all
take part of a stick in the game. You know,
a lot of that is trying to mentally fuck the next guy.
Yeah,
trying to get in the guy's head with all the motions they do. That's all. It's all antics.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this is why I love it is because it forces you to, and I love the mental part of the baseball game, but this forces you to be action.
Okay.
Like this is to me this is what's going to make the game. I think probably might bring some of the viewers back because it's going to be more action because I'm forcing you to mentally be ready in a certain time frame after every pitch. Like, all right, pitch is gone, let's go. All right, another pitch is gone, let's go. Like, ain't no.
Right.
You in the club?
That's what's going on, man. They doing the worm, they checking the jock, they checking the gloves, restrap them, just make sure the pad on there still, they doing all that, and you just wasted another 30 seconds. And then now the pitcher's got to waste another 30 seconds because he got to adjust. Now you got to get the resin bag and action. Give me action. And so this is what I like about the pitch clock. So I don't know. Final thoughts on the pitch clock, fellas, or final thoughts on all the rule changes in general.
Go ahead, Mel.
Like I said, I like the mystique of the pitcher have his own little set of antics and stuff like that. I like that part of the game. You know what I'm saying? I do like that. I don't have a problem with the clock, but then I'm gonna miss those antics. I like that.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? It's just some part of the game I like. Some pitchers they do long winds up and take. To me, that gets character to the pitcher.
Hey, I don't like foreplay no more. Action. All right. Action.
Now you're talking Mel's language.
All right. Look. It'll warm up when I be in there. It'll warm up. It'll warm up. Hey man, I ain't got time to preheat the oven. Let's go.
It'll be all right, baby. It'll
be all right. But look, she might get mad by the time she heat it up. I'm about ready to have a little Coke in a Pepsi and give me a towel and ready to let go. But anyway, that's another story. Not tell bit, but no, hey, come on, man. Give me the action. Maybe that's just why I like the pitch clock, because damn the foreplay, let's get to the business.
All right.
I don't know.
Right. What say you, Matt?
What's that?
So what say you?
Yeah, final thoughts on rule changes, man.
Yeah, pitch clock is I think is the only one that I have a problem with. That and the base. Well, actually, I all the fucking rules. I don't like any of them. Who am I kidding? I'm I
hate them all.
Let me just recap that. Yeah, I don't like the changes. I really don't. Baseball is a certain game that's played a certain way, and that's the way it should be. You shouldn't be altering certain things. They changed they tried to attract a better crowd, like more viewership. I get it 100%. And teams are going to do what they have to do. Major League Baseball is going to do what they have to do to keep the revenue up.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's the bottom dollar.
Yep.
You ain't making the money. We got to change something.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you're trying to chase the NBA, which the NBA is trying to chase the NFL. So as you see up there at the mountaintop of all sports entities, NFL is sitting there at the top and is looking down at everybody else and saying, what the hell are y'all going to do to try to keep up with us? And this is just baseball's attempt to try to shorten the gap. I mean, that's the bottom line of this. So there's going to be things you're going to like, some things you're rooting for, but I'm ready for the action. Let go.
Yes, sir. I cannot wait.
Hey.
Spring training.
Spring training
starts tomorrow.
Right now, so.
Games start tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh wow.
It's gonna be dope. Yeah.
Spring training.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's here. But look, man. Hey, MJ, man, we appreciate you hopping on with us.
Hey,
man. Big shout out to big homie Nick Shine. Hey, man, please keep the big homie Nick Shine in your prayers, man. My man's dealing with some real personal shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Nick, we got your back, Nick.
Yeah,
right.
That's not my business to tell. If you want to know what's going on with him, conversate with him, and I'll let him speak on that situation. All I'm saying is, because IOW, we are about unity and family around here, because we appreciate everybody that contributes, and it's not just us in front of the camera that contribute to IOW. It's literally everybody on that Facebook channel. That's followers on the Facebook channel, followers on the YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Like, y'all are IOW, and like we're just the face and a voice for IOW. But y'all are IOW. So as we deal with life, please just send some positive vibrations towards my guy, big homie Nick. He does have the GoFund joint out there. I don't know if he put the link in the page. I'll tell him to put the link in there. But and that'd be something. It ain't even gotta be him. Like literally, IOW is like, yo, we gonna look out for y'all as best as we can. because that's just how we rock. But
Right.
on behalf of everybody from IOW, I'm the Wildcard Mario. That's MJ. That's the 2022-2023 NFL Pick'em champ. He got the belt floating around there somewhere.
I got it in the other room. Don't you worry. It'll be on display soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, for sure. And then of course that's the big homie Detroit Mel. Hey,
real quick, I want to ask you, Lamar, real quick.
Go ahead.
Is Pinky playing tonight?
Is who?
Is Pinky playing tonight?
Pinky.
Yeah.
Oh man, get the hell out!
He heard his game. He heard his Pinky also game. So I was just wondering if he's going to play tonight.
I'm not taking that bait. Don't get me started on him, bro. Don't get me right when you said Pinky. I was like, and then I was like, oh damn, like nope, I'm not taking that bait. I'm not taking that bait. Anyway, yo, hey, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you see all the social media joints on the bottom. Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube, where all the content is at. Hit us up at IOW Sports Network. Hit us up on Twitter, IOW Sports 1. Hey, we out here. We see y'all on Monday, episode 226.
Okay, baby. You're hitting them corners too goddamn
All right, fellas.
fast.
All right, man.
Slow this motherfucker down.
Slow this motherfucker down.
Yeah,